variable. A variable is capable of holding a single value. But if my requirement is, if I want to hold multiple values, if I want to hold multiple values, then I should go for collections. Very important point, very important concept. Try to listen. Then what are the type of collections available in Python? So there are 4 types of collections: list, tuple, dictionary, as well as set. These are very important type of collections which are there in Python. And meanwhile, why we will go for these collections? As I said you before, a variable, let you take suppose any one variable, suppose x, it can hold only suppose 10, or suppose if I say let us take y is equal to string welcome. So up to now you have seen only these particular variables which you are seeing right now, whether it is x or y or and so on. These are capable of holding a single value. But if I want to hold multiple values of unique type, like welcome comma 10, suppose, like I can say like another name is like Python. So like this, if I want to hold multiple values within a single variable, then I should go for collections. It is very important. A variable can hold a single value, but if I want to hold multiple values, then I should go for collection. As a part of this, in this class, we'll discuss about list and tuple. So let me take the list first. Very important. Try to be listen this carefully. A list is a collection of which is ordered and changeable, or simply I can say mutable. So mutable means changeable. So a list is a collection, right? It is a collection which is ordered and mutable. So it can hold multiple values. It can hold multiple values, right? And these values are enclosed in square brackets. Very important point, square braces. Simply I can say square braces, right? I mean, it is very important. Like it can hold multiple values, right? It can hold multiple values. So these multiple values can be duplicate or heterogeneous. These multiple values can be duplicate or heterogeneous values. Let me try to. So list holds duplicate or and heterogeneous values. So values of same data type, same values, or different data type, different values. So duplicate, you can hold duplicate values and heterogeneous values. Similarly, insertion order is preserved. Insertion order is preserved means in which order you try to insert the values in the list, in the same order those can be fetched. In the same order those are inserted into the list. So another important point, list supports indexing. So what are the types of indexing we have? Positive as well as negative indexing. Very important point. Let me make you clear with these concepts. So suppose, as I said you before, list which is ordered or mutable, that is secondary, but list is a collection which can hold multiple values of different data types or same data types, whether they can be duplicate or they can be heterogeneous. If you see, this is the example of list. See, these are 10, A is a string, B is a string, 20 is an integer, 30, 10, and these values, multiple values, are enclosed in square brackets. So this is a list. And as I said you before, list supports indexing, positive indexing as well as negative indexing. Suppose you move from left to right, it is positive indexing, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you move from right to left, it is negative indexing, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and -6. So and so on. If you have more values or objects, then the indexing may increase in the positive direction as well as negative direction, or negative indexing or positive indexing. So this is the example of list, and this is nothing but the positive as well as negative indexing, right? It is verified. And another important point, once we create a list, it can be changeable. List can be mutable. That is we can change or modify the content. change or modify the content. List can be mutable. It is very important point. List can be mutable. We can change or modify the content. All these points which I discussed you right now will be understood based on some examples. Let us try to take one example so that you can understand better. Let me go to PyCharm. Let me create one folder, day 5, or it is day 5, right? Yeah, let me create one Python file. It is very easy and very important. List. Right. Let me take one example. How to create a list. How to create a list. So let me create a list. Create. Right. Suppose, let me take my list. My list 1 is equal to, so list always is enclosed in square brackets, and we can specify multiple values, 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on, as well as 50 as well. And let me define another list, my list of 2, that is equal to, I will, in this list, what I will do, I will try to define string variables. Suppose apple, right, as well as banana, similarly, as well as I can say like cherry. So let me define these are 2 types of list. Like this is regarding how you can create a list. So I can create a list with integer as well as with a string, but those should be, if it is a list, it should be enclosed in square brackets. Thumb rule: if it is a list, it should be enclosed in square brackets. So this is integer list and this is string list, so I can mix both of them. So this is a list of different data types. So not only one data type, as you seen here, this is not only integer, this is not I will define right now, this is not only integer or a string, it is a combination of both. So let us try to define another. So suppose apple, 10, I can say 10.5. This is a float type of list, and similarly, suppose let us try to say orange. So this is also a string, right? So if you can see in all these examples, a string is a collection of multiple values but enclosed in square brackets. And if you can see, let me define another string and another list. My list of 4 is equal to, let me define some duplicate values. Suppose I have defined apple. Let me define another thing, apple. So there will be no foreign, there will be no change. Like I can define duplicate values as well. I can define multiple heterogeneous values. I like this value and this value is different, or this value, if you compare with all the values, these are heterogeneous to each other. So they are different to each other. So if you see in this case, duplicates are allowed. And whatever, in which order you can insert the values, those should be preserved here. So if you try to see print of my list 1, let me try to print for all the lists here. This is 2, and this is 3, and this is 4. Let me try to print. Yeah, if you can see in which order I have defined the list, in the same order it has printed. If you can see, there will be no change in the position as well. If you see, apple is here, banana is here, cherry is also here, and I come to my list 3. So this is nothing but apple 10, 10.5. This is the order which I defined this particular list. So if you can see, in the same order it has printed in the console. So I can say from this insertion order, or in which way I have defined the list, in the same way the list is appeared or printed. If you can see apple or apple, it is very important to know that this type of examples. All right, and let me create another example for your understanding. So accessing items from the list. Accessing items from list. How you can access? So we can access the items from the list by using indexing. So as you know that Python supports positive as well as negative indexing, and if you can see, this is how the indexing is done. Positive 0 to 1 starts from 0, negative starts from -2, starts from -1, right? In the same order, we will try to access the list. Suppose let me try to take print of my list. Let me create this as my list only, not my list 2. My list of. So always indexing is specified by using square brackets, and we can specify that value actually. What is the indexing number? So this is my list of 0. So I want what is the variable or the value or the object which is there at the 0th index position. Similarly, second index position, and similarly, what is the value at -1 index position, and similarly, what is the value at -2. So these are different types of operations. Not only this, you can perform based on like the length of the list. So this is at the 0th position, this is at the 1st position, index position, and this is at the 2nd index position. And similarly, this is nothing but the positive indexing. If you can see at the negative indexing, it starts from -1, right to left, -1, -2, and -3. Let me try to print this. So if you can see, so the value at 0th indexing position is apple. Similarly, second index position is 0, 1, 2, cherry. It is right, good. And -1 index position is right to left. It is like cherry only. And if you can see -2 is nothing but -1, -2 it is banana. So if you can see in this way, we can access the items from the list. And similarly, range of indexes. We can specify from which range to which range I want only that values. Nothing but a slicing. As we have seen that in a string, when we are discussing about the string, we have seen that how we can slice a string. In a similar way, how we can slice a list. If the list is having multiple values, I don't want to print all the values. If I want only the specific values from this range to that range, nothing but from this index to that index, I want only that values. If you can see, let me try to make you understood by an example. Range of indexes. What you will do, it is nothing but a slicing only. What I will try to define one list here. So let me try to uncomment this. Similarly, I will specify another values. Orange. Similarly, I can say kiwi. These are fruit names. Just I'm trying to take. Similarly, melon, and similarly I can say mango. These are different type of values which are specified in the list variable. Here, this variable name is my list type. See, whatever the name I am convenient, I can define with the name. But this is, by seeing that itself, I can say it is a list because it is already enclosed in square brackets. Now the thing is range of indexes. How we can specify an indexes within the range. Let me try to try to take this. What I will do, I will try to print one thing so that you can understand. So I want only the values from 2 to 5. So from the second index to fifth index, I want the values to be printed in this particular list. So this is the list which is assigned to my list variable. And similarly, if you can see, if I can count what is the indexing, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and negative indexing -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and -7. So if you can see, similarly, this is having 0 to 6, right? Positive indexing. -1 to 7. This is negative indexing. So I am specifying the index value from second index onwards. I want the value at fourth index because it specifies 5 - 1, 4. So it specifies only 2 to 4. It prints the values from 2 to 4. So 2 means 0, 1, 2, cherry, mango, as well as kiwi should be printed. Let me try to print. So cherry, kiwi, and mango. Let me try to comment this and let me try to print it here just for your reference. Similarly, so I want the values, right, -4 to, so in this case, I'm just specifying the negative indexes, negative range actually, -1. So if you can see, -4 to -1. Before going to this, let me try to make you understand. This is -1, -2, -3, -4, right? From -4 to -1, it should go in positive direction only. See, you can get the values in the positive direction by specifying the negative index ranges. So in the similar way, if you can see -4 to -1, it should be printed. Orange, kiwi, melon, mango. Let me try to print this. Oh, sorry. Because this last value, as I said, -1, minus of -1, +1, 0. So similarly, I can say it prints from -4 to -2 only. Because -1, what I am doing here, if you can see, if I specify index ranges 2 to 5, what it will do, the last value is subtracted, like 5 - 1. So what it will do, it will try to print only 2 to 4 values only. What are the values present in 2 to 4 indexes, it will try to print. So but in the second case, what I have done, I have specified -4. It is very important to understand. Let us try to understand this. -1. So what it will do, you should take the last index, you should try to minus off -1. Okay, that is fine. What I am doing, I am just separating the -1 as like I have done in this case, right? So -1. So what it will do, -2, right? This value is, so what it will do, -4 to -2 values only it will try to print. So if you can see here, so that is the reason it has printed -4 to 2, -4, -3, -2. If you can see, orange, kiwi, and melon, these 3 only printed. So this is nothing but a range of indexes. You will specify some particular range. Within that range, you will try to access the values of the list by specifying the indexes, the range of indexes. So next item. Let me try to make this clear for your understanding. So what I am doing right now, I am changing the item from list. So as I said you before, a list can be changeable or modifiable. So that is nothing but mutable. So that is the character of a list. We can change the value. So if you can see, let me define one list. So let me take my list only. Let me uncomment this. So let me print for your reference, print of my list, right? And similarly, let me try to print this. That's fine. It is printing in a character. What I'm doing, suppose if I want to change what is the value at 0th index position to orange, apple to orange. So what I will do, I will try to use the list with, I will specify the index. And so if I specify the index, it is nothing but the changing. So I'm just changing the value which is there at the 0th index position. This is the whole list which it is referring. And if we specify the index, only it is referring to this particular value. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to change the value to apple to orange. So if I change like this, the value which is previously there is changeable to this particular latest value. Let us try to see one more time. Let us try to print for your reference so that you can understand better. So if you can see, this is the list which I defined. This is what you are seeing here. And what I have done, what is the value at the 0th index position? I have changed it to orange, apple to orange. And so based on that, you can see that apple to orange is changed. So in this way, by specifying the index value and specifying the what value, what that needs to be changed into that particular list, with the help of this, you can try to change the value or item from the list. So another important concept, how you can read list items one by one. So we have seen, if I want to read the list item one by one, I will use looping concepts, right? So read list items using for loop. So you can also read the list items using while loop also. That will not be a big difference. You can try to take that as an assignment so that you can understand how we can use while loop. But for now, what I'm doing, I'm trying to use for loop. So I will try to define one variable for I in my list. All right. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to access each and everything from the list by using for loop. I'm trying to print it in the console. Let me try to print by using for loop. This we have already discussed when we are discussing conditional statements or iterative looping statements, right? For loop. If you can see here, what I'm doing, I'm trying to access each and every variable, and thereafter I'm trying to print. If you can see, this is print apple, banana, cherry, orange, kiwi, melon, and mango. In this way, you can try to access list items. And another important point, you have seen all the different type of operations which we can perform on the list. There will be some scenarios. How many items are present in the list? I want the count. I want the count. How many items? So I will use length function. I will use length function. Print of length of my list. So if you can see what I'm doing, I'm just printing the length. For this length, I should pass variable on an argument. What is the argument in this case? List. So I am just counting what are the values or the objects which are present in the list and just printing it to the console. Let me try to comment this. So if you can see, 7 total 7 items are present in the list. Let us check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There are 7 items. So I can use length function. I can use length function to count number of items in the list. To count number of items in the list is very, very important. Try to be careful when you are trying to read or try to learn the list, tuple, or different type of collections. It is very important concept in Python, collections. Without collections, there is no Python. As far as my experience is concerned, Python is very important, and in that, collections is playing a vital role, right? Like list, tuple, dictionary, as well as set, right? Let us try to see another example. How to check whether the particular value is present in the list or not. Check if item present in the list or not. Item present in list or not. List or not. So let me try to comment this and let me try to make this. Suppose let us try to define one list. So let me try to uncomment this. What I am doing, I am trying to check whether the apple object is present in the particular list or not. So if apple is present in the list, so is present, what I can do here, I can use in is if apple in my list. So if I try to comment this, so if it is there in the list, what I should do, I should try to print it exists, right? So if it is not there, I can use else loop. This I have discussed before, if and else conditions, conditional statements. So I can try to say that it not exists, right? So let me try to check. So if you can see, this item apple is present in the list. Suppose if I can say like I will try to I can try to define one variable or one value, apple, banana, cherry, orange, kiwi. Out of this I can say like guava. So I'm checking whether this particular item is present in my list or not. So you know that it is not already present in the list. So it will check the condition. So it will become false. It will not execute this the body of this if loop, and it will directly jump to else condition. So on directly prints it is not exist. So let us try to see. So if you can see, it is not exist. In this way, you can check whether a particular item is present in the list or not. Another important manipulation or work item: how you can add or remove items from the list. How you can add or append or insert items into the list. Let me define one list variable. Very important point. So simply add items into list. Let me try to uncomment this. Let me try to make this uncomment. Right, apple, banana, cherry. Let me try to define only these particular values. Right. So what I'm doing, I'm just appending. So I can add items to the list by using two ways. One is append, one is insert. So let me try to define that. So what I'm doing, my list dot, I am using append function. Don't worry, even append as well as insert, what are they things, what they will do, I am already included in my material. Don't worry, just try to listen. So what I'm doing, I'm just appending orange here, orange. Let me try to print after ascending my list. All right, let me try to take this and also before and after appending. Let me try to print. If you can see, this is the list which I defined earlier. What I'm doing, thereafter I'm appending one item, right? So if I append, if you can see, it has added at the last, right? This is one observation. Let me try to make you clear at the end. So after appending, if you can see, this is the updated list. Similarly, what I'm doing right now, I will insert. See, one way is appending and the another way is using insert function. So my list dot insert of, I will specify the index position. In the first index position, what I should do, I should append, I mean, what I can say, like it's like insert the specified value, like I can say like go up. Right, let me try to print the list, print off my list. So this is this any my list? Sorry, I should not specify the index here. Insert, you can specify the index, then it will be fine. So if you can see, this is the list which I defined previously. After appending, this is the list. If you can see, I have appended orange value. If you can see, at the first index position, I am just inserting Guva. So for insert, I should specify the index position. So at which index position I should try to insert the value. So in the first index position, what I am doing, I am just trying to insert this particular value. And thereafter, this is the updated list. And this is the value which I appended. So if you observe out of these two, append as well as insert, let me try to make you clear with another important points. It's like, append versus insert. Append versus insert. Let me make you clear here. It is very important. Try to listen it carefully. It is an interview question. So what it will do, append function adds a new item at the end of the list. If you can see, this is the appended value. Orange is the appended value. If you can see this is the list which I defined previously, and this is the modified or updated list. So in this updated list, this is the orange value which I have appended. So if you can see, I have appended the orange value. That orange value comes at end of the list. So one observation is, when we add a new item by using append function, it adds at the end of the list. Very important point. And similarly, when we use insert function, right, adds a new item at a specified index position. Very important. So if you can see here, my append, you will not specify any index value, but coming to insert, what you will do, you will specify the index position, at which position you should try to add the value. So by these two methods, append and insert, you can add items into the list. But what is the difference? They will try to ask you in an interview. So you should try to make them clear that, append function adds a new item at the end of the list. Insert function adds a new item at the specified index position. You are just specifying the index position. Like in the first index position, I want so and so value. You are just specifying the index position. right? Similarly, how you can remove items from the list. So remove items from list. Very important concept. So we can remove items from the list by using del keyword and pop. And there are differences between these two. Let me make you clear before this. After executing something, right? Let me try to define this particular list. Right, let me make you clear. Apple, banana, cherry, or like orange. Let me take only these values. Like this is the list. So what I should do now, I should remove some of the items from the list. So how I can remove the items from the list? So by using del keyword or pop-up function. So let me try to make you clear. My list, this is the list. I'm just using pop keyword dot pop off, and I should just specify the index position. Let me try to specify that index position as 0. In the first 0th index position, that element or item to be removed. So let me try to print it here. Print off my list before I'm removing the item. So we are not supposed to print, because by using pop function, it will directly print what is the like modified list in the console. Let me try to print this. So yeah, it has not printed. Let me try to print off my list. Yeah, if you can see what it has done, this is the list which I already defined: apple, banana, cherry, and orange. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just removing the item. Like I specified the index position. So in the 0th index position, what is the value to be there that should be removed? If you can see, the value at the 0th index position is apple. This is removed. So, and this is the resulted list. So another important way. So I can use del. Let me try to make del of my list of. I should specify the index position. So pop is written at the end of any list, but if you can observe, del is written at beginning of any list. So what is the value present at the second index, that should be removed, and the whole list to be printed one more time. So let me try to do the same. So if you can see, this is the list which I defined. I have removed the value at the 0th index position, like apple is removed. So this is by using pop function. And similarly, what is the value present at the second index position, 0, 1, 2, cherry to be removed. So cherry is 0, 1, sorry. Once the list is updated, that list is passed to del. So if you can see, I have removed apple. What is the result list? Banana, cherry, and orange. So this list is passed to del. So the second value in this list is orange. That is removed here. So in this way, you can remove the items from the list by using del and pop keyword. But what are the differences? Let me make you clear here. So pop versus del. It is very important for interviews. Don't worry, I have already mentioned all these points in my material. Just try to follow this. So pop method removes and returns the element at specified index position. What I'm doing, whether it is in pop or del, I'm specifying the index position, whether it is for the pop or it is for the del. So I'm just specifying the index position. So whatever the item or the element which is specified at the index position, that is removed and it is returned. So let me try to make you clear. So let me try to comment this and let me try to print it this. What it is doing, it will try to return that value. Let me try to print. So if you can see, this is the list which I defined. So that is what I'm printing here. And if you can see what I'm doing, by using pop function, I am removing the value or the item at the 0th index position. What is the value at the 0th index position? Apple. So this is removed. After printing, what it has done, it has printed in the console. What it is doing, pop function is removed that particular item, but it also returned. So that is the reason why you can use print statement. But let us try to see the same with the del. If you can see, I am using del. Let me try to make use of print of del. So after removing, it will not return any value. So that is the reason why it has highlighted with colored values. Let me try to comment. If you can see, there is no colored value. So let me try to run the list. You will get error, syntax error, invalid error, because this is the difference. Pop function removes specified item at the index position, but coming to del, it removes that specified item, but it does not returns any value. If it returns, we can print. If it does not returns, we cannot print. So that is the reason you got syntax error. That is the reason why you got syntax error. So ultimate conclusion is pop method removes and returns items at the specified index position. But if the item is not specified or the index is not specified, then it removes what I can say, like lost item which is there in the list. So another important point is pop method removes and returns the lost element if index position is not specified. Very important point. These are very important differences which you can expect in an interview. Coming to remove or del keyword removes, only removes, not removes, only removes and does not returns, only removes and does not returns element. It will remove the element but does not return any element at the specified index position. So what it will do, it will remove the element but it does not returns any removed element at the specified index position, right? So if the specified value does not, or I can say, like, if the specified element is not present at the specified index position, then it will try to remove the last value. Let us try to see that. Maybe I'm not true here. So if I does not specify any value, what it will try to do, let us try to see here. We will get syntax error, because for del definitely we should try to specify the index position. For del we should specify index position. So if we don't specify any index position, what it will do, I will get syntax error. These are the important points you should know before working with the list. And there are some more things, like how we can clear the list, copy list, join or combine the list by using list operator, like concatenation operator, and these are all present in the my material. As for your exercise, don't worry, you just try to practice, right? You just try to practice. Very important, list, tuple, dictionary, and set. So, and another important topic is tuple, and the another important topic is tuple. So let me try to make it clear. Tuple. So it is same like list only, same as list. So simply I can say, like, let me make it clear. Same as list, but it is read-only version. I can say, see, read-only version of list. So what is meant by read-only version? So if I can say you can only read, but you cannot modify the content, right? So it is same like list, but coming to tuple, you will not change any value. You can, like, it cannot be changed. So it is nothing but immutable. So let me make you clear another important points. So a tuple is a collection which is ordered. So in which order you will try to define that particular tuple, in the same order it will try to print in the console. And unchangeable means we can only read, we cannot modify its content, or it is immutable. So in Python we can write tuple by using like I can say round braces. Very important point. Round braces. We can specify the tuple with multiple values by using round braces. So similarly, as like list, tuple also supports positive and negative indexing. Positive and negative indexing. And default index value is 0. So once we create a tuple, we cannot modify or append or insert and remove, very important, existing content or value. Hence, tuple is immutable. Hence, tuple is immutable. It is very important point. In interviews, you can expect what is the difference between list and tuple. So it is same as list, but it is read-only version of list. So what I have done, I have mentioned you all these points in this single word. In this single word, read-only version. Read-only version means you cannot modify, or you cannot add, or you cannot remove the existing content or values to the tuple. It is very, very important. What are the differences between a list and a tuple? So let me try to take another example. Let me try to create Python file of tuple. So let me try to make you understand how we can work with tuple. Creating a tuple. So as I have said you before, a tuple is created with round brackets, right? So let me define my tuple is equal to, let me define round braces. So in the round braces, I can specify apple, banana, different values. I can specify multiple values, right? Not only single value, like cherry. So let me define these particular values in this particular my tuple. If you can see, I can specify multiple values within round brackets. This is nothing but a tuple. If I specify multiple values within square brackets, it is nothing but a list. We'll try to print off my tuple. So I have just created that tuple. So let me try to print that. Yes, this is my tuple. If you can see, insertion order is preserved. So apple, banana, and cherry in the same order it has printed in the console. And if I want to define empty tuple, so what I will do, I'll just to specify round braces. I will specify just round braces. So let me try to print of my tuple one. Let me try to make this as one. Yeah, if you can see, this is the tuple with values and this is the tuple with empty, like empty tuple. So in this way, we can create the tuple. Similarly, how you can access tuple items? It is very important to access the tuple items. So as we have seen, we can access the tuple items by using indexing. So what I will do, I will just specify the index position. So print of what is the value at, I can say like first index position. Similarly, what is the value at minus index position. So in this way, I can try to access the tuple items. So there are multiple items. If I want to access the individual item, I can use indexing, nothing but the slicing. And similarly, if I want to access the items in the list one by one, what I will do, I will use for loop. So for I in my tuple, I will try to print each and every value what is there in the tuple. Let me try to print each and everything. So let me try to comment this. Let me try to print. Yeah, if you can see, the value at 1 index position is banana. Yeah, banana it is. Minus 1 index position is cherry it is. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to access each and every value in the tuple by using for loop. If you can see apple, banana, and cherry. So I have access to each and every item in the list. Similarly. So to check whether that item is present in the list or not, how I can check? Check item present in the tuple, not list. Let me try to comment this. Let me try to define one tuple variable with my tuple and specifying multiple values. And if you can say, if guva in tuple, if it is there, it should print it exists. Similarly, if it is not there, what it should do, it will try to print of not exist. You can specify the message, or you can modify the message in which way you can want. So in this case, what I'm doing, I'm trying to check whether the guva is present in this particular tuple or not. So it is not present. So that is the reason why it printed not exist. It has directly gone to this else loop and it has printed not exist. It is very, very important how you can check whether the items present in the list or not. So as I have said you before, you cannot add any items to the tuple. You cannot modify the content. You cannot append. You cannot use insert method. You cannot use remove method, because tuple is the only read-only version of list. You can only read. You cannot modify its content. So in the similar way, we can see the differences between the tuple. So and list versus tuple. List is immutable because we can change the content. We can modify, append, or insert. But coming to tuple, it is immutable. You cannot modify, you cannot append, you cannot insert, or you cannot remove any existing content or value. So it is immutable. It is ordered. List is ordered, and tuple is also ordered. In whichever way you define a list or a tuple, in the same way it has printed in the console. Similarly, indexing. So list and tuple supports indexing. So you can just specify the index value and you can retrieve the item which is present in the index, specified index position. So these are the differences. If you can see, list and tuple, mutable, immutable, ordered, and indexed.